Hey, good evening, Talkin' Fight fans around the world, Neil the Deal fans around the world. How are you tonight? Yep, it's me, Neil the Deal. We're going to be going solo here tonight, so let's get right into it. I want to say hi to everybody out there. Thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it. All the likes, the shares, the notifications, and the comments have been absolutely amazing as usual. Thanks again, guys, for all the support. Really appreciate it. So we're going to continue with our British boxers tonight. And we're probably going to talk. Well, we're going to talk about probably the most well-known British boxer right now out there as active boxers, and he's in the heavyweight division. He is a world champion right now, and his name is Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury. So let's talk a little bit about Tyson. He's got a couple of quick nicknames that I kind of liked. He likes to call himself the Gypsy King, which is one of his nicknames. The other one I really liked was the Furious One. The Furious One. So he seems to like that as well. He's a huge guy. Guys, if you've never seen Tyson Fury, this guy is like 6'9", and he weighs at any time between 250 pounds and 280 pounds. So he is a very, very big man, and he's got some serious skill for a guy that size. So we're going to talk a little bit about him now. He was born Tyson Luke Fury, and he was born August 12th, 1988. That makes him 32 years old right now in Wythenshawe, Manchester, Lancashire, United Kingdom. So he's from the Manchester region. I guess the town, there's a little town in the Manchester region. So that's where he's from. And he presently has been known, he is a two-time world champion in the heavyweight division. He's ranked right now #1 best heavyweight in the world, pound for pound. I think that's he deserves that right now. He's definitely right up there. There's a couple of guys at the top there, but he is at the top of the heap. So keep your eyes out for Tyson Fury. There's a lot of stuff been talking about him recently. We'll go over that too. So let's talk a little bit about him. He began boxing at 10 years old, all right, and he decided to leave school at 11 years old, all right. He was named by his father after Mike Tyson, because in 1988 Tyson was the world heavyweight champion, and his father liked Tyson, and so decided to call him Tyson. Now, his father was his trainer from the age of 10 all the way up until 2011. And since then, he's had multiple trainers, including the nephew of Emmanuel Stewart recently. And his uncle, actually, Huey, was his trainer for a couple of fights, the Klitschko fight, etc. So he's had a number of different trainers over the year. His father was a professional boxer. Actually, he started as a bare knuckle boxer, and he was not he wasn't licensed or anything, but then he became a professional. And interestingly enough, his father had a professional record of 8-4-1. So 8 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 13 total fights. So that was pretty interesting. A lot of times these guys, their fathers, they seem to have their fathers involved with them at a young age, obviously, to encourage them to get into the boxing. And there's no exception here with Tyson Fury. So let's go over a little bit of his amateur career. His totals were 35 fights. All right. He won 31 fights and he lost 4 fights in his amateur career. Now, this is an interesting tidbit that I found out. He actually represented both England and Ireland as an amateur, and he's very adamant about being Irish. He was born in England, but his ancestry is Irish. So he's tried to get a dual citizenship. He's had problems with that, and he's had some fights over in Ireland, and he's very well known in Ireland. So he kind of, from what I see, he basically goes more as an Irish fighter than a British fighter, although he lives in Britain and was born in Britain. So that's kind of interesting. I've never really seen that before. So let's go over some of his amateur titles, things that he won as a young lad over there, overseas in the United Kingdom. In 2006, He won a bronze medal at the World Junior Championships in the super heavyweight division. He is a heavyweight, but I guess in those they have super heavyweight as well. So he was competing in that division because he's really big. Like, you know what I mean? 2007, he won a silver medal at the European Junior Championships in the super heavyweight division. Also in 2007 at the EU Junior Championships, he won a gold medal. 2008, he won a gold medal at the England National Championships. And like I said, he had a really, really good career. So he's done very well. He came up through the ranks, and now he's basically at the top of the heap as far as heavyweights are concerned. He's right up there. So his pro totals, we'll go over his pro totals now. He's had a total of 31 fights, pro total. Wins, 30 wins. Wow. 30 wins out of 31. That's super impressive. I'm totally impressed. He's got 21 knockouts. That gives him a knockout percentage of 68%. And he has 0 losses and 1 draw. He had the 1 draw against Deontay Wilder in the Wilder fight, the first one. But other than that, he's undefeated. So basically, he is undefeated. 0 losses. So he turned pro at 20 years old. And right away, he won the English heavyweight title. He won those twice, actually, the English heavyweight titles. He won one in 2009. He also won one in 2010. In 2011, he became the British and Commonwealth heavyweight champion, which are 2 big titles again. 2012, he won the Irish and WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Championships, 2012. 2015, he won. This was one of the big ones. He won the WBA Super Heavyweight, IBF, WBO, IBO, and Ring Magazine titles, which made him a lineal champion. Fantastic, unbelievable, right across the board. 2020, he won the WBC heavyweight title of the world, and that was against Deontay Wilder. That was in his last fight. So in 2018, he signed a big promotional deal with Frank Warren's Queensberry Productions there in Britain, in the UK. And Frank Warren has a great stable of fighters, so he's being taken well care of with that promotional company there with Frank. So the interesting part is now, in the last fight, he's fighting almost at the heaviest weight he's ever fought at. In the last fight, the Wilder fight, he was fighting at 275 pounds. But he did say that he wanted to get a little more beef on him so he would have a better opportunity to knock out his opponents moving forward. So if he stays at 275 pounds, that's a pretty big guy. He's like, I mean, Mike Tyson's 214 pounds when he won the world heavyweight championship, 214. This guy's 275. So this is unbelievable. He also signed a 2-fight deal to fight now Anthony Joshua. Now, this is an up-and-coming fight that they've been talking about for about a year. I understand that the fight has been signed, but there is no date and there is no location as of yet. Apparently, if there is going to be a fight, it's going to be probably in May or June, and then maybe there's a rematch clause, I guess, and that would be in November or December of this year. So those 2 fights are going to be probably one of the biggest fights of the year. I can't, it's the heavyweight division. We're talking to unify the heavyweight division, which hasn't happened for quite a while now. And hey, I'm looking really forward to seeing this. I did watch the last fight, the last couple of his on the pay-per-view, and he's really good in the last one. So I'd be interested to see how he's going to make out against Anthony Joshua. I get the word on the street is it's like 50-50 right down the middle. So me personally, I'm gonna go with Tyson Fury, just because of the power. I think Anthony Joshua is gonna have a problem with his power. So we'll go over some of the notable fights that he's had. The ones that I watched that I really liked was Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 1 and 2. Guys, fantastic fights, both of them. First one went the distance, was a draw. So that was a great fight. It was a little controversial, but in the second one, he really showed what he was made of, and basically he won that fight. So Fury versus Vladimir Klitschko. That was a fantastic fight as well. You'd really want to check that one out. He also fought a guy named Derek Chisora, which was a fantastic fight, and another gentleman named Vinny Magdalone, who I've watched a bunch of Vinny Magdalone's fights, and he's no pushover either. Like, he's fighting basically all the best guys in the world in the heavyweight division. So there's from here, I don't know if he wins this and he beats Joshua, then he's going to have to start looking at Ruiz and some of these other guys to come up, or even his stablemates and Daniel Dubois and guys we've been talking about. Anthony Yard. There's a lot of nice big heavyweights again that can challenge for a world title. So I'll be looking forward to any of those fights, and I hope you guys will be looking forward to those fights as well. They're going to be pay-per-views, so we'll just keep our eyes on who's going to be running them. Now, I've heard his father was making a comment a little while ago about this Anthony Joshua fight, and he says that the fight's not going to happen unless they do $500 million split 50-50 between him and Joshua. That would be $250 million guaranteed for that fight. I kind of have a hard time believing that, but he did sign a 5-year deal with ESPN and Top Rank Boxing recently, worth $100 million, Tyson Fury. So he's not short on money, that's for sure. I don't know, and like I said, he's gonna be coming up real soon with this Joshua fight, as long as they can get a location and a date. Apparently, the location too could possibly be Asia, because there's some sort of a billionaire or something out there who wants to stage the fight in Asia. So it could be in Asia. I know Tyson Fury wants it to be in the UK, but again, that's what's going to happen. So as far as other than boxing, he does have some other interests which are kind of interesting, and I thought we'd just talk about it. He brought out a book called Behind the Mask, his autobiography, and it went to #1 on the Amazon book list. Within 24 hours, it went #1. So that was pretty cool. If you guys want to check out his book, he's got a very interesting life. It's been a very up and down life for him. So he's done 2 films, actually film docs about his family. They're called Meet the Furies. I guess that's in the UK. So it's kind of like I guess like the Osbournes or something, or the Kardashians. You know what I mean? So Meet the Furies. And these were filmed before the Deontay Wilder fights, apparently. So I'm gonna look out for that. He also loves to sing. He loves to sing. He did do some stuff with Robbie Williams there in the UK, and apparently he just loves to sing. He kind of sings in the ring and stuff after and before fights, so he really likes that. And there's a rumor that he might actually decide at some point here to go into MMA. Yeah, he's thinking about it. He has done some wrestling stuff recently, with Vince McMahon over there at the WWE, and he kind of enjoyed it. He said he had a great time with it, and he was paid handsomely, that's for sure. But apparently he might get into the MMA game. Conor McGregor has offered to train him if he's interested in getting into the MMA game, and I understand that Steve Miocic, that big heavyweight in MMA, has been trying to get him to get into the boxing ring even. Apparently he might decide to go back into boxing and try to fight Fury. So there's all kinds of stuff going on with him. He's a very interesting guy. I'm really looking forward to seeing the fights. And let's just keep our fingers crossed that everything goes well. They can sign it up. And then we're going to have I think this is going to be a really, really good fight, guys. So keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll be seeing you tomorrow early, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time here. And thanks a lot for coming out. Keep your eyes peeled. I'll let you know if I hear anything more about the Tyson Fury Joshua thing. And I'm sure Mike knuckles up 4 o'clock. He talks a little bit about that kind of stuff too. So if you guys got time, and check out Mikey too, he might have some information about what's been going on. So you guys have yourselves a great evening. Thanks a lot for coming out. I really appreciate it. And we're going to see you tomorrow at 6:30, all right? So take care of yourselves. Have a good evening. Stay safe. Stay cool. All right. We'll talk to you then. Have a good evening.